length? How do you think?
No, it's our free throws. Length, whatever you want to call it. You got to make free throws. We gave the game away. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's okay. They played really hard. Amor's as good as there is. And what I was impressed with her is rattled as we got her. I mean, she turned the damn ball over 8 times, guys. We did a heck of a job, but she kept playing. And that's what I've always admired about her is no matter how rattled we got her, you never saw it on her face. And that's the sign of a great point guard. And she is, I've got a ton of respect for her. I always have. But we gave the game away. And credit to them. But length or no length, like, we give up 9 offensive boards, and we got 9. Problem was, we gave up 1 or 2 there in overtime when we had a damn box out, and all we had to do was go get the ball. Instead, we held them, and it's a good call. And then we put them at the free throw line. And then they made theirs when it mattered. So, yeah, the length wasn't that big of a deal.
Hey, and then Talia.
First time playing in this facility, I guess it's 2017 for you guys. Can you talk about how the crowd at that hall had kind of an effect on particularly some of the scoring runs that can take
They
place?
didn't know, but it's a great environment. You want to play in front of crowds. We play in front of close to 8,000 every night at home. I mean, it's what we average. So the crowd was fantastic, which is what we always have talked about. When Matthew was here, God, we were both trying to get sellouts because it's what you want for your players. You want it for the crowd. I think today was a great basketball game. If anybody says it wasn't, I don't know what to tell you. Now, it wasn't always the prettiest, but I thought both teams really competed and played hard. So, it was a really good game. The crowd was fantastic. But the crowd, it's not like all of a sudden our kids have never played in front of people.
Talia, and then Charlie.
Coach, it was a tough night for Olivia offensively. What would you like to see more of from her tonight?
Well, I would like to see the ball going. I don't know what to tell you. She competed and played hard. She had some shots she normally makes. But unfortunately the ball did not go in the basket for her, but I thought she competed defensively really hard. But yeah, you go 1 for 11, it's tough. But our biggest problem is we had some critical turnovers again. I mean, it's a 3-point game in overtime with about a minute 3 or 4 left, and I went with 5 guards because that's how we scored at the end of regulation. And we turned the ball over. It's like we have the matchup we want because with their size, they weren't able to guard us when we went 5 guards. And we can't even get to start going downhill because we had 5 shooters out there. So now all of a sudden they can't help in, and unfortunately, we turned it over.
Paul, go ahead.
Coach Mark Berry, despite the loss, came in and maybe had a breakout game for us today. Just talk about her play.
Yeah, she played great. She stepped up and was confident shooting the ball. She shot it well against Martin down there. And to be honest with you, the kid, it was a game time decision if she was going to play. She had a severe sprain on Thursday, did not practice on Friday, went limited, and yesterday's practice was spent the entire day in the training room. So it wasn't really until warm-ups that she said, I think I can go. So I'm really impressed with the toughness that she showed. But yeah, we're throwing out there a lot of freshmen, and I thought Mac Randolph, it was the best game that she's played so far. Taj is Taj needed to have that fire that she's had. Today, she just looked a little subdued. I don't know if she went, what the problem was, but I think they got physical with her. As a freshman, sometimes it's the first time it happens, and you get on your heels. But overall, I thought, we competed hard, but we just gave the damn game away. You got to make free throws.
Coach, do you have any comments about the officiating, and what are you going back to the locker room and saying, hey, there's going to be nights like this. We got to do this, and this to be better next time?
No, what was there a problem with the officiating? Did you not like it?
I mean, some questionable calls here and there. It seemed like
No, I didn't, I mean.
both teams playing.
No,
letting them play.
I thought they did a pretty good job.
Okay.
The last thing you want, I just don't want them to take over a game at the end. That's all you ask as a coach. And I thought for the most part, they were pretty consistent and allowed the kids to play, which is what you want. You don't want to get into a hand check every 5 seconds and all this crap. So I thought you officials did good. Yeah.
Jeff, you're obviously familiar with Tiani Key from the ACC. What were your impressions of her tonight?
Well, you know, we did a really good job of when we wanted to guard her. Like, we weren't guarding her outside. I said shoot it all day long. Our problem is then she started to get under the basket and we forgot to guard her there. And she made some layups in the first half where it's like, I want her, you know, that was part of the plan. It's like when she's out on the perimeter, don't guard her. Like, get back in there and help on the one Stark and the other ones. But we just gave her too many around the basket. Now, we turned her over 7 times too. So when she was on the perimeter and got it, we caused problems. But we just didn't adjust to when she got to the low block. I mean, because she is just wide open layups. But I'll give her credit. She made them, and then she stepped up and went 3 or 4 from the free throw line as well.
Coach, obviously, I know some of the players on this Kentucky team from their time in the ACC. Obviously, know Coach Brooks fairly well. What were maybe your first impressions of a Coach Brooks team 2 weeks into the season, first year?
Well, the same thing I've seen for the past 7 years, or 8 years at Virginia Tech. I mean, you've got what could have been the player of the year in our league, but unfortunately her teammate was in the ACC. Then you've got Stark back. So, like, yeah, I mean, it's exactly what I expected. So, yeah, Kenny does a great job. You know, the kids played hard. And, again, I'll say it. I mean, if we step up and do what we're supposed to do at the free throw line, it doesn't even get to overtime. But unfortunately, that's why you play the game, and that's why you got to be prepared for those opportunities.
Eric, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'll ask about the shots. You worked 3 for your last big game in the field. Were they good shots in your mind, the majority of them?
We had some good shots, and then we just, it was the old, you know, rip and drive, but then jump stop and throw back out. Because when the help comes, don't try to just keep shooting over people. And we got a little carried away there, and unfortunately wasn't as disciplined as we needed to be. We had some good ones that just didn't go in. And unfortunately, you know, at the end there, you've got to be able to knock down a few of them. And we just didn't do that. I mean, like I said, it's a 3-point game with a minute to go in overtime. I think a minute 3 or a minute 4, and just absolutely did not do what we had to do.
Any other questions? Gary?
When you have so many young players on this roster, I mean, obviously you look to the veterans, but who among the freshmen, or what do you look for among the freshmen to kind of settle them down and try to get them to play poised and stretches like that?
Well, it's just getting them in the game. I mean, they just got to get more game reps. You know, it's our 4th game of the year. It's their 4th college game. So it's going to take, I mean, I can remember Georgia, Virginia Tech, Dana Evans just absolutely made her life miserable. You know, as when she was a freshman, and Dana was a junior or a senior. So it takes games, guys. It takes games for them to be able to experience college, because it's not the same. I mean, I tell people, everybody's like, "Oh, she was a great high school player." No, she was great in high school, but this is different. You know, you go into, you're a senior in high school, you're 17, 18 years old, playing against 15 and 16-year-olds. And then you get to college and you're 18 playing against, well, now it could be a 30-year-old with COVID and everything. But it's, you know, you're playing against a 22, a 23-year-old. The physical changes that take place in women from 18 to 22 is amazing. The strength that they add when they get in the weight room, and that's the difference that they're now adjusting to. And then the officiating, not in a bad way, but in high school, you breathe on them, they call a foul. Where in college, they won't let you play some. And now you're trying to adjust to that. And then the other thing which I explained to them is like, now people start having scat reports. So if you don't go left, well, they're gonna make you go left. Where in high school, a lot of these kids, it didn't matter what the other team tried to make them do. They were just better. And those are the things you're adjusting and learning to. And for us right now, I'm proud of them all, but we have to do better is I don't have a junior to throw in. And that's fine. I mean, we've done this with Shoni Schimmel and Bria Smith, kids that were freshmen that came in here, and we lost games and we figured things out as it went, and they just got better and better. So I'm expecting all of them to really grow. But it was just, it wasn't, we didn't play as well as we could. Defensively, we were fantastic in the first half. We did everything we wanted to do. We doubled ball screens, we played aggressive, and then for about 6 minutes in the third quarter, we just stopped doing it. Because it's hard. It's hard to keep that type of pace, and that's what we have to do. And unfortunately, we just didn't do it, and then that's when they made their run.
Can you talk about the history of this rivalry or what you've experienced since you've been coaching at Louisville and how the rivalry has grown over the years?
Well, it's always been great. I mean, I always tell people, like, for me, Matthew and I pretty much, we came in at the same time. And everybody talks about this program here, and I'm like, don't forget that man took this team, I think, to 3 Elite Eights. And, you know, like, damn, we had some games. We had some unbelievable games. And as I always say, like, you know, we played in 2 national championship games. The problem was we played against UConn twice. And he gets to 3 Elite Eights, and because I know, and he played UConn twice. Like, it's the draw, it's the luck of the draw sometimes. So it's been great games, and it's always been. It's going to continue to be. Even when we're not ranked high or they're not ranked high, this game's always coming down to where it's a battle. So nothing's going to change with that. And really, to be honest with you, I don't think it matters who's coaching. It just doesn't matter. It's the rivalry game. Now, what's changed in all of this, and I think you all know, is like, you know, when I grew up in Northern Kentucky, you know, you were either Kyle Macy or Jeff Hall. When you're a white kid that could only shoot the ball. You know, like, I wanted to be Kenny Skywalker, but unfortunately it just didn't work out for me. Okay? So, but now, it's like you don't even know possibly who's on the team next year. That's the difference, I think, that's taken place with all of these rivalries. You used to be able to go, oh my God, here comes Melvin Turpin again. Here coming, you know, Purvis. Like, that shit I used to know. We used to cheer for all of them. And now it's like, I thought that kid was on our team last year. Like, they're not? They're on the other team? See, that's the only thing that's changed. But yeah, this game's always going to be a great game. Always going to be competitive, intense, and fun to play. Yes. Any other questions? Yes. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much.